In this video, I'll show you a taping in tip that'll make your work look like a professional's done it. All that and more, coming right up. Hi everyone, Brad McKinnon here, welcome back to the channel. I'm a New Zealand jib stopper, interior plasterer and drywall finisher. And today I'll be showing you a bit of taping in, first coating, and I'll show you a little tip. What I do when I'm taping in drywall joints, and if you do this, then I reckon you'll be doing it like a pro in no time. It's pretty simple, and it just flattens off the joint perfectly. So I'll walk you through it here, and if you're taping in some new plasterboard joints, you can give it a go and see how you get on. Now, if you're a beginner, you don't have to sort of do what I'm doing, you can just do one at a time, but because I'm a professional, what I like to do is go through and do probably half a room at a time. I'll sort of butter up all the joints and then I'll go around and tape them in. Now of course, if you're learning, there's no need to do this, but if you're sort of pretty confident, you can do this as well, as long as your plaster or compound doesn't dry out too fast. Then by all means you can give this a go. So once I've got sort of half a room mudded up, then I'll go around and I'll just embed the tape into the plaster. Then once I've done that, I'll come back and sort of just press that tape into the joint. So just for reference, I'm using a setting compound, a 45-minute setting compound, but by all means, again, if you're a beginner, you can use a pre-mixed multi-purpose compound straight out of the bucket. It'll be a lot easier than mixing up some powdered plaster in a bucket. And again, you don't have to rush around because ready mixed plaster is air drying, so it'll just dry to the air temperature, whereas a setting compound like the 45-minute one I'm using, you've got 45 minutes before it goes hard. Now the reason I like to use a setting compound for taping in joints is that reason is it sets hard, and just having your tape in with setting compound just gives it extra strength and just ties it all together. So my method is taping in with setting compound and then second and third coats with a pre-mixed multi-purpose compound. But you can see here, just now I've embedded the tape, I'm just going around and pressing it in and then cleaning off the edges with those little sort of bits of tape on the wall. It's good just to hold one end, and as you sort of press it in with your knife, just so it doesn't pull away. And as you'll notice, I'm not going over it straight away, so I'm just pressing the tape into the plaster, and then I'm sort of going to carry on around the room and embed tape in all the other joints in the room. And my tip is to do a room, sort of embed the tape into the whole room and then come back and go over it, and I'll sort of show you what I mean when I get to that point. But the reason I do this is just sort of not going over it straight away, just gives it that time just to sort of settle in and bed into the plaster a bit more. You don't want to leave it too long, you don't want it to let it start drying out on top. We want that tape embedded in between two coats of the same mix. I think that's what gives it its strength. So but I'm doing this pretty quick here. Now if you're a beginner, you might want to do sort of maybe 2 or 3 joints and then come back and coat them, depending on how fast you're going. So now, just in case you're wondering what's going on here, these fixers used a router to router out the windows, and obviously they've gone a bit off there with that one, and routed a big mark underneath the window, so I've got to tape that in. That's what that is all about. Bit of a shocker, but anyway, we'll just do it and carry on. So that's sort of like a butt joint there. That is not a tapered joint like what all the rest of them I'm doing. Once you've got a nice layer of plaster on or compound on, you just press that tape in, unroll the tape onto the plaster, and then just cut it off on the end. I'm using a fiber fuse tape, which is a fiberglass mesh tape. Of course, you can use a paper tape if you like. Remember, if you're using a paper tape and you're a beginner, you want to get enough compound on the joint. You don't want to see any plasterboard through the compound, because that's where you get your bubbling. And you get your bubbling when there's not enough plaster on the plasterboard. So you need that plaster behind the tape using paper tape. But if you're a beginner, I recommend using a fiber fuse tape. Just eliminates that bubbling or any chance of bubbling, because if you do miss a bit underneath the tape, you can just press it through, because the fiberglass tape is open, an open weave. The plaster can get pushed through from the top. Again, just going around and cleaning off those edges, pressing the tape in, and then just cleaning everything off ready, nice and tidy. Again, those little pieces just hold one end as you press it in. You're not pressing it in too much, just nice and lightly. You don't want to press all the plaster out. Still want plaster under the tape. Now this one here, because it's just a butt joint, I can just go over that straight away. The butt joints I like to go over straight away because there's not much plaster on them. They can dry out pretty quick. But now that I've taped in the whole room, I can come back now and coat it. Now, this is my tip. It's just had enough time. It's had 5 minutes or so of sitting there. Hasn't dried out. It's still wet, but it's just sort of, it's just sunk in nicely, you know. And as you coat again over the top now, you're not going to get that railroading effect which sometimes you get if you're using paper tape or this fiberglass tape. It's just, you get that nice flat finish. And that is a great tip for beginners. Again, if you're a beginner, maybe start off doing 2 or 3 joints, then coming back, depending on your speed, going over it. That's just filling in that tapered edge nicely. Now again, if you're a beginner applying the plaster, what you're doing is you're rolling your wrist as you put the plaster on. You can see I'm rolling the knife, using all that plaster up on my knife. And then as I clean it off, I'm just keeping the knife on that one angle, same angle. Again, just rolling the knife as I'm putting the plaster on, rolling it on, just using all that plaster on the knife, and then coming back and cleaning off, just same angle, clean off those edges. It's got that beautiful, nice finish. That tapered edge is filled in nice and flat. And as that sets and dries, that'll just slowly shrink back as the water evaporates from the plaster. And remember to always let your first coat completely dry, or all coats completely dry before applying the next coats, because of shrinkage. If you apply all 3 coats at once it's finally dry, it would have shrunk back and you'd see it. So I highly recommend letting each coat fully dry before giving it its next coat. So I've been around that room and I've coated everything up now. That's beautiful. I've just got this little wardrobe here. We'll do the same thing. Now again, you don't have to sort of leave it for 5 minutes. You can coat over it straight away if you want. It's absolutely fine. what I'm going to do here. Just a little wardrobe. But I'll do it all at once. I'll go around and fill in all the joints, and I'll go around and then apply the tape. Go around and press it in gently, clean off the edges, then I'll go around and fill it over it again. Remember, most important thing for taping in plasterboard is that the tape needs to be embedded in between 2 coats of the same mix of plaster. So, which is what I'm doing here. Now, I don't recommend bedding it in, letting it dry, and then coming back and coating it, because it's not bedded into that. It's not bedded into the same plaster. That's where it gets its strength. It's sort of, you've got one layer of tape in, and then you've put another layer, separate layer of plaster over the top, so it's not embedded in the same coat of plaster. So that's another tip I recommend. It's what I always do. Again, with these little pieces, just hold them while you press them in. Again, just hold the tape out in front of you so you're keeping it in a nice straight line. Now another little tip, you can see me just sort of doing that little pressing in there, coming back from the corner, just doing a nice light press, that's just so it doesn't pull away from the corner. Now you don't have to hold it, you can just do that. That's a little method I've learnt over my years. So again, always clean the edges, always keep things tidy, because those edges dry out really fast. The last thing you want is dried edges getting into your mix on your hawk. Then as you're filling in joints, it's pulling through your mix. It's a bit of a pain, so always keep things clean. And that's my little tip for taping in. Just flattens it off beautifully. Hope you've learnt something here, guys. If you enjoy these videos, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already. Got plenty more on the channel for beginners, and plenty more to come. Got lots of videos in the pipeline, and lots you'll enjoy, I reckon. So if you have any questions, write them in the comments. I answer all questions in the comments. If you're keen to see how I second coat and third coat, there's plenty of videos on the channel. Or you can watch my course where I tape a whole room from start to finish, including sanding. So thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. I'm Brad McKinnon. Check out this video here, it's a great one. Thanks for watching.